Error of refraction. First, we discuss what is emmetropia. Emmetropia means normal eye. It is a state of refraction where parallel rays of light coming from infinity are focused at sensitive layer of retina with the accommodation being at rest. This is a picture shows the refraction in an emmetropic eye. At birth, the eyeball is relatively short, having +2 to +3 hypermetropia. This is gradually reduced until by the age of 5 to 7 years, the eye is emmetropic and remains so till the age of about 50 years. After this, there is tendency to develop hypermetropic again. And what is ametropia? Ametropia is the condition of refractive error. It is defined as state of refraction where parallel rays coming from infinity with accommodation at rest are focused either in front or behind the sensitive layer of the retina in one or both meridian. Next, I discuss the hypermetropia. What is hypermetropia? It is the refractive state of eye where the parallel rays of light coming from infinity are focused behind the retina with accommodation at rest. This picture shows the parallel rays of light come and they are focused behind the retina. Hypermetropia basically two types. According to etiology, it is axial, curvatural, index, positional, and there may be aphakia of the crystalline lens, absence of the crystalline lens. Axial hypermetropia may be developmental or may be pathological. High hypermetropia occurs in nanophthalmos or microphthalmos eye due to markedly short axial length. Next is curvatural hypermetropia. Curvatural hypermetropia is a condition in which the curvature of the cornea, lens, or both is flatter due to normal and resulting in a decrease in refractive power of the eye. About 1 millimeter increase in radius of curvature results in 6 diopter of hypermetropia. Next is index hypermetropia. It is mainly occur due to the increase of the refractive index of the lens in old age patient, basically due to cataractous changes of the lens. Next is positional hypermetropia. It is basically results from the posteriorly placed crystalline lens due to some accident or due to some trauma. Last one is absence of crystalline lens. It may be due to either congenital or maybe acquired. Acquired usually due to some surgical removal or posterior dislocation of the lens, which lead to aphakia, a condition of high hypermetropia. Next is hypermetropia may be clinically classified as simple hypermetropia. In simple hypermetropia, it is just patients have hello. In simple hypermetropia, it is basically it's the commonest form of the hypermetropia. It results from normal biological variation in the development of eyeball. Next is the pathological hypermetropia. It may be index, positional, aphakia, or curvatural. In index hypermetropia mainly occurred due to acquired cortical sclerosis of cataract in old age patient. Position mainly due to posterior subluxation of the lens. And aphakia is the absence of the lens. It may be due to congenital or acquired. And consecutive hypermetropia due to surgically overcorrected hypermetropia. Next is component of the hypermetropia. Total hypermetropia is the total amount of refractive error which is estimated after complete cycloplegia with either atropine eye drop or by homatropine or cyclopentolate eye drop. It is divided into two parts. One is latent hypermetropia, another one is manifest hypermetropia. In latent hypermetropia, it implies the amount of hypermetropia which is normally corrected by the inherent tone of ciliary muscle. The degree of latent hypermetropy is high in children and gradually it is decreased with the age. And in manifest hypermetropia is the remaining portion of the total hypermetropia, which is not corrected by the ciliary tone of the muscle. Manifest hypermetropia usually two types. One is facultative, another one is absolute. Facultative hypermetropia constitute the part which can be corrected by the patient's accommodative effort. And absolute hypermetropia is the residual part of the manifest hypermetropia, which cannot be corrected by the patient's accommodative efforts. What are the symptoms of hypermetropia? Some patients may be present with asymptomatic symptoms. A small amount of refractive error in young patient is usually corrected by mild accommodative effort without producing any symptoms. Patient may complaining of some asthenopic symptoms, mainly tiredness of the eyes, frontal or frontotemporal headache, watering, and mild photophobia. There may be some defective vision along with asthenotic symptoms also. When the amount of hypermetropy is such that it is not fully corrected by the voluntary accommodative effort, then patient complaining of defective vision. And some patient may also complaining of only defective vision. When the amount of hypermetropy is very high, the patient usually do not accommodate and there occurs marked defective vision. Next is signs. Signs mainly patient's eyeball is very smaller in size in case of hypermetropia. Cornea may be slightly smaller than the normal. Anterior chamber is comparatively shallow, and in fundus examination there is small disc is seen. Complications of hypermetropia are patient may complaining of recurrent stye, there may be blepharitis or chalazion. This is mainly due to infection introduced by repeated rubbing of the eyes, which is often done to get relief from fatigue and tiredness. Next is accommodative convergence squint may develop in children, and there may be some amblyopia also developed in some children. There is predisposition to development of narrow angle glaucoma also seen in hypermetropic patient as their eye size of the eyeball is small and shallow anterior chamber. Treatment is mainly by optical and surgical. Optical treatment mainly we prescribe convex plus lenses in the form of either spectacles or in the form of contact lenses. In the presence of accommodative convergence squint, we usually full cycloplegic correction given. And surgical treatment usually done, but it is not so much popular as in myopia. Next is aphakia. It literally means absence of crystalline lens, which produces a high degree of hypermetropia. Causes of aphakia are congenital absence of lenses, surgical aphakia, traumatic extrusion of the lens from the eye, and posterior dislocation of the lens and absorption of the lens matter due to some trauma. Optics of aphakic eye. In aphakia, the eye is highly hypermetropic. Total power of eye is reduced to about plus 44 diopter from plus 60 diopter. Anterior focal point becomes 23.2 millimeter in front of the eye. Posterior focal point 7 millimeter behind the eyeball. And there is total loss of accommodation. Clinical features, symptoms are patients have defective vision. There is marked defective vision for both far vision and for near vision due to high hypermetropia and absence of the accommodation. Patient may complaining of erythropsia and cyanopsia as there is excessive entry of ultraviolet and infrared in the absence of the crystalline lens. Then signs of aphakia. Patients may have some limbal or corneal scar due to surgical aphakia. Anterior chamber is deeper than normal. There may be some iridodonosis, that is tremulousness of the iris can be demonstrated. Pupil is jet black in color. There is only two Purkinje images is shown. Hypermetropia, hypermetric small disc is found in fundus examination. High hypermetropia is shown in retinoscopic figure. Next is treatment. Ideally, treatment we done with spectacles, contact lens, intraocular lens implantation, and some refractive surgery. Spectacles has been the most commonly employed. Ideally, we give plus 10 diopter with cylindrical lenses for surgically induced astigmatism are required to correct the aphakia. And contact lens sometimes we given for high hypermetropia and aphakic patients also. Intraocular lens implantation is the best available method of correcting the aphakia. It may be primary intraocular lens implantation, maybe some secondary intraocular lens implantation. Primary intraocular lens implantation is ideally done after cataract surgery, and secondary intraocular lens implantation is done in already aphakic patients. And refractive surgery sometimes we done like LASIK surgery. Next is pseudophakia. Pseudophakia, the condition of aphakia when corrected with an intraocular lens implant is referred to as pseudophakia. Refractive status of pseudophakia are it may be a emmetropia, it may be a consecutive myopia, and it may be consecutive hypermetropia. Consecutive emmetropia means patients have no power needed after intraocular lens implantation. It is most ideal situation. Such patients need plus glasses for just near vision only. Consecutive myopia occurs when the intraocular lens implanted overcorrects the refraction of the eyes. Such patients require glasses to correct for the myopia for distance vision and may or may not be need glasses for near correction also. And consecutive hypermetropia develops when the underpower intraocular lens is implanted. Such patients require plus glasses for distance vision and additional plus 2 or plus 3 diopter for near vision. What are the signs of pseudophakia with posterior chamber intraocular lens implantation? There may be a surgical scar you seen near the limbus. Anterior chamber is slightly deeper than the normal. There may be some mild iridosis of the iris. Purkinje images test shows 4 images. Pupil is blackish in color and there is a shining reflex usually we seen. Visual status and refraction will vary depending upon the power of the intraocular lens implanted as described above. Next is myopia. What is myopia? Myopia is a type of refractive error in which parallel rays of light coming from infinity are focused in front of the retina when accommodation is at rest. This picture shows the refraction in myopic eye. In classification, myopia may be etiological classification. There is it divided into axial myopia, curvature myopia, positional myopia, index myopia, and uh, first is axial myopia. In axial myopia, it is results from increase in anterior posterior length of the eyeball. It is the commonest form of myopia. Curvatural myopia, it is mainly due to the increased curvature of the cornea, lens or both. Positional myopia is produced by anterior displacement of the crystalline lens in eye due to trauma. And index myopia results from increase in the refractive index of crystalline lens associated with nuclear sclerosis type of cataract, and patient may have some myopia due to excessive accommodation. Next is clinical varieties of myopia. Myopia may be congenital myopia, it may be simple myopia, it may be pathological myopia or degenerative type of myopia, or it may be acquired myopia or secondary myopia, which occurs secondarily to some other disease conditions, like it may be due to post-traumatic or post-keratitic, or it may be due to some drug-induced myopia, night myopia, consecutive myopia. First, we discuss the congenital myopia. Congenital myopia, it is usually present since birth, but usually diagnosed by age at the age of 2 to 3 years. And simple myopia, it is the most common variety of myopia and it is considered as a physiological error. Etiology in symptoms, symptoms of myopia are very poor vision for distant distance. Patients may complaining of some asthenopic symptoms also. Patient may have some half shuttering of the eyes. And in signs, there is prominent eyeball, slightly deeper anterior chamber than normal, normal fundus, and refractive error mainly does not exceed more than 6 to 8 diopter. Next is pathological myopia. It is rapidly progressive error which starts at 5 to 10 years of age and results in high myopia during early adult life, which is usually associated with degenerative changes in the eyes. Symptoms are patients complaining of defective visions for basically distant vision. There may be musca volitantis, that is, there is floating of black opacities in front of the eyes, also complained by many patients. And patients may have some night vision difficulty also. In signs, there is prominent eyeball, cornea is large, anterior chamber is deep, pupil is slightly larger than normal, and fundus examination shows the optic disc appears large and pale. There may be some myopic crescent also seen. There is also peripapillary crescent encircling the disc may be present. There is some degenerative changes also noted in the retina and choroid. Like chorioretinal atrophic patches at the macula also shown. There is Foster Fuchs spots or dark red circular patch due to subretinal neovascularization and choroidal hemorrhage may be seen in the macula. There is cystoid degeneration, lattice degeneration, and Snell's tract degeneration is seen in the periphery of the retina. There sometimes there may be posterior staphyloma also shown. Complications of the pathological myopias are the retinal detachment, complicated cataract, vitreous hemorrhage, choroidal hemorrhage, strabismus fixus convergence, and primary open angle glaucoma. Next is treatment of the myopia. Ideally, it treated the myopia by optical treatment by concave lenses, either as a spectacles or in the form of contact lenses. Surgery is done. LASIK surgery usually be done for correction of the myopia. Next is general measures. Ideally, we give some dietary modification, and there sometimes needed some low vision aids indicated in some patients with progressive myopia having advanced degenerative changes. Prophylaxis, genetic counseling sometimes also needed. Next is astigmatism. It is a type of refractive error wherein the refraction varies in the different meridia. Consequently, the ray of light entering in the eyes cannot convert to a point focus but from focal lines. Astigmatism may be regular astigmatism or it may be a irregular astigmatism. Regular astigmatism, the astigmatism is regular when the refractive power changes uniformly from one meridian to another. Types of regular astigmatism are with the rule astigmatism, with the against the rule astigmatism, oblique astigmatism, bioblique astigmatism. With the rule astigmatism, in this type of astigmatism, two principal meridians are placed at right angles to one another, but the vertical meridian is more curved than the horizontal. Against the rule astigmatism refers to an astigmatism condition in which the horizontal meridians are more curved than the vertical. An oblique astigmatism is a type of regular astigmatism where the two principal meridians are not in the horizontal or vertical, though these are at right angle. And bioblique astigmatism, in this type of regular astigmatism, the two principal meridians are not at right angle to each other. Refractive types are simple, compound, and mixed. In simple astigmatism, the rays are focused on the retina in one meridian and either in front, called simple myopic astigmatism, or behind called simple hypermetropic astigmatism in the retina in the other meridian. Compound astigmatism, in this type, the rays of light in both the meridians are focused either in front or behind the retina, and the condition is labeled as compound myopic or compound hypermetropic. And mixed astigmatism refers to a condition wherein the light rays in one meridian are focused in front and in the other meridian behind the retina. Next, we discuss the clinical features of regular astigmatism. The patients may complaining of asthenopia, that means transient blurring vision, dull ache of the eyes, frontal headache, and sometimes nausea also. And blurred vision and defective vision is reported. And signs, patients may have some signs like myopes, just like that half closure of the eyelids to achieve the greater clarity of stenopic vision. Patients sometimes may have some head tilt, and in fundoscopy, there is a oval shaped optic disc or tilted optic disc is seen. Treatment ideally we give for regular astigmatism appropriate cylindrical lens in the either in plus cylindrical lens or minus cylindrical lens. Contact lens sometimes given. Rigid contact lenses may be correct up to plus 2 to plus 3 diopter of regular astigmatism. Next, we discuss the irregular astigmatism. It is characterized by an irregular change of refractive error power in different meridians. There are multiple meridians which admits no geometrical analysis. Etiological types are curvatural irregular astigmatism and index irregular astigmatism. In curvatural irregular astigmatism is found in patients with extensive corneal scar or in keratoconus. And index or irregular astigmatism is due to variable refractive index in different parts of the crystalline lens may occur rarely in patients with cataract patients. Clinical features is defective vision, distortion of the object, or polyopia, that means seeing multiple images. Signs mainly in retinoscopy, there may be irregular pupillary reflex. Slit lamp examination may reveal corneal irregularity or keratoconus. Treatment ideally optical treatment usually given by contact lenses which replace the anterior surface of the cornea for refraction. Sometimes PTECI, that means phototherapeutic keratectomy, sometimes done, and surgical treatment is indicated in extensive corneal scarring and consists of penetrating keratoplasty. Next is accommodation and its anomaly. Our eyes have been provided with a unique mechanism by which we can even focus the diverging rays coming from a near object on the retina in a bid to see clearly. This mechanism is called accommodation. Mechanism of accommodation are when the eye is at rest, that means unaccommodated, the ciliary ring is large and keep the zonules tense. Because of zonular tension, the lens is kept compressed, that is means flat by the capsule. Contraction of the ciliary muscle causes the ciliary ring to shorten and thus releases the zonular tension on the lens capsule. What is the far point and near point? The nearest point at which small object can be seen clearly is called near point or punctum proximum, and the distant or farthest one is called far point or punctum pronatum. Next, we discuss anomalies of the accommodation. It may be presbyopia, it may be a paralysis of the accommodation, it may be insufficiency of accommodation. First, we describe the presbyopia. Presbyopia or eyesight of old age is not an error of refraction, but a condition of physiological insufficiency of accommodation leading to a progressive fall in near vision. Ideally, presbyopic correction needed after the age of 40 years. What are the symptoms of presbyopia? Basically, patients have difficulty in near vision. And there may be some asthenopic symptoms also due to fatigue of the ciliary muscles, and intermittent diplopia also noted. Treatment usually given convex glasses for near work. And, there is a rough guide. Ideally, we prefer at the age of 45 years, we usually give +1 to +1.25 dioptric lens for near work. At the age of 50 years, it is +1.5 to +1.75 diopter. At the age of 55 years, it is +2 to +2.25 diopter. At the age of 60 years, it is +2.5 to +3 diopter lens usually prescribed. Next is paralysis of accommodation. Paralysis of accommodation, also known as cycloplegia, refers to complete absence of the accommodation. Causes are mainly, it may be due to some drug-induced cycloplegia. Drugs like atropine, homatropine, or other parasympathetic drug. It may be due to some paralytic internal ophthalmoplegia, results from some neuritis associated with diphtheria, syphilis, diabetes, alcoholism, cerebral or meningeal diseases. Paralysis of accommodation as a component of complete third nerve paralysis may occur due to intracranial or orbital causes also. Clinical features is blurring of near vision, photophobia, abnormal reading of near point. Treatment mainly self-recovery occurs in drug-induced cycloplegia and in diphtheric cases. Dark glasses sometimes effective to reduce the glare. Convex lenses are prescribed for near correction. Next is insufficiency of accommodation. The term insufficiency of accommodation is used when the accommodative power is significantly less than the normal physiological limits for a patient's age. Causes are premature sclerosis of the lens, that means premature cataract of the lens, weakness of ciliary muscle due to some systemic cause like anemia, toxemia, malnutrition, diabetes mellitus, pregnancy, stress, and so on. Weakness of ciliary muscle also associated in primary open-angle glaucoma. Clinical features, all the symptoms of presbyopia are present, but those of asthenopia are more prominent than the blurring of vision. Treatment of underlying cause is essential. Near correction usually given by weakest convex lenses. Accommodation exercise sometimes helps to recovery. Next is anisometropia and anisoconia. What is anisometropia? Anisometropia, the optical state with equal refraction in two eyes, is termed anisometropia. Isometropia. When the total refraction of two eyes is unequal, then the condition is called anisometropia. Etiology is basically it is mainly due to congenital or and developmental due to differential growth of two eyeballs. Acquired anisometropia may occur due to asymmetric age change, uniocular aphakia after removal of the cataractous lens, or due to implantation of intraocular lens of wrong power. Clinical types, it may be simple anisometropia, it may be compound anisometropia. Simple anisometropia, one eye is normal and the other eye is either myopic or hypermetropic. Compound anisometropia, wherein both eyes are either hypermetropic or myopic. Mixed, there is another term is called mixed anisometropia. In this, one eye is myopic and the other is hypermetropic. This is called the anisometropia. Treatment usually done given as spectacles, and maximum difference of two eyes usually we give 4 diopter, not more than that. Contact lenses are advised for higher degree of anisometropia. Anisoconic glasses also available. Other modalities of treatment include intraocular lens implantation for uniocular aphakia, refractive corneal surgery for unilateral high myopia, astigmatism, and hypermetropia. Next is anisoconia. What is anisoconia? Anisoconia is defined as a condition wherein the images projected to the visual cortex from the two retinae are abnormally unequal in size and shape. Etiological types are it may be optical anisoconia, maybe retinal anisoconia or cortical anisoconia. See, clinical features is patients have some asthenopic problem, Patient may have some diplopia or may have some difficulty in depth perception. Treatment by optical anisoconia by correction of the anisoconic glasses or contact lenses or by intraocular lenses or other refractive surgery. Retinal anisoconia may be corrected by treating the cause. There is cortical anisoconia is very difficult to treat. Okay, thank you. That's for today. If you have any question, you can ask me. Okay, then I stop my presentation. Okay, thank you.